Last match in Group B, ladies and gentlemen. The in-house league continues, and we are also on the newest patch. Since there obviously are no tournament servers anymore, every single tournament is always played on the current live patch, unless we're jumping, let's say, into replays, for example. But since you're currently looking at a draft, this is obviously live. Today we have Team Makke going up against Team Lauber. And it should become a pretty interesting game, because we are once again in one of these situations where it's going to be pretty decisive which team is able to make something happen here. Makke's team, for example, was able to take Quacknix's team out in the first best of 5 match in Group B, but Lauber and his boys, they actually struggled against the team of Quacknix quite a little bit and were defeated without even taking a single map. So in order to position themselves properly in this ranking now in Group B, they have to take down Team Makke. Now, there are only 6 teams in the in-house league, as we said before, and we're heading into the playoffs the upcoming weekend. And the important part about this is that the 2 teams that finish 3rd in each group, they will actually start in the lower bracket, in the losers bracket, when we're heading into the double elimination system tournament bracket that will finally also determine the champion and the winner of the prize pool, which is by now, I think, at like $2,200, $2,300. There's of course some crowdfunding involved with this too, so the prize pool is still consistently rising here. But as I said, we have the new update in, so patch 50.0 is in, and the most important thing for you guys is Tassadar is banned. Tassadar is not going to be played here. Players decided, listen, big rework for the hero is going to be banned out for the rest of the tournament, which is going to take place over the next couple of days, of course. And it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, back in HTC, when you had a major rework coming through, or when, for example, a new hero was introduced into the game, you had that banned out for 2 weeks to give the players time to adapt a little bit, and there's a small adjustment to that too. But of course, all the other changes that Blizzard has introduced with the patch are still in play here, and that will give us a lot to talk about once that we're actually entering the game. But before that happens, let's focus a little bit on the draft for now. We have Zul banned. Now, Zul was one of the few heroes that got some balance adjustments in the last patch. The patch mainly was focusing more so on quality of life improvements. The patch was also, of course, focused on all those changes to towers, to forwards, keeps, and the cores as well. But we had 2 heroes that were a little bit touched by the patch. The first one is, of course, Tassadar, who was massively reworked, and the second one was Zul, who was slightly nerfed. Zul still banned out, so the players not risking anything here. We have the early pick into Ana on the side of Team Lauber. Makke still is not going to have access to his Mephisto over here. Tomb of the Spider Queen also procced an early pick into Johanna for the added wave clear that you have with the hero. Malfurion for the root follow-ups that you have with it too. And here comes the Jaina and ETC pick. Now, every single time that you're going into an Ana composition at the beginning, you want to have a mage that you can, of course, then nano boost during the fights. Most of the time, you're talking about a Li Ming or a Jaina. In this case, Tobos went straight in for Jaina on that hero. And as the bans are coming in, there's of course still a couple of other heroes that we still need to talk about a little bit, especially on the side of Team Makke. It could be that we're seeing, for example, Tracer. She's been playing immediately banned out. Okay, so forget what I just said. Team Lauber is also looking at this like, you got the Malfurion already, we're not so sure we really want to go up against Makke's Tracer, let's ban that shit right away. So no cavalry in this game. Leo got also banned, no Skeleton King, no swing, no mace to the face. And instead, Makke opting for Li Ming, trying to get the reset mechanics kicking in as Blade picks up Rexa for the bot lane. Now, we still have a couple of heroes out there that would be quite useful here. One, for example, being Blaze, obviously, with the bunker setup. Also good wave clear at the bottom of the map. You want to have some added interrupt if you can on the turn-in, because right now, Team Makke has a huge amount of turn-in interrupts. They have the Flashlight and Johanna, the Moonfire and Malfurion, the entire combo that Li Ming can bring to the table, and Misha is going to be a nuisance as well. Zeratul, on the other hand, yeah, not banned out this time, and we have Dainu on his Horny D account, and we have, of course, Tai playing the account Semi today, so they get Zeratul and Genji. Okay, this just got a little bit aggressive, and it's a little bit hype, I'm not gonna lie. This is a good start into game number 1 here. This is obviously a best of 5 series, and again, it is the last series in Group B. So we're gonna find out which team takes which position here today, with Gia coming in as a last pick, and Gazlo! Game on, everybody! I'm unfortunately in a position where I have to tell you that the Gazlo hype might have been a little bit too early. It seems like one of the players dropped out, and that's why they yeah, auto-picked into Gaslow, but Maiev is the actual pick for Team Makke in this first game of the best of 5. We also have a couple of different accounts here, as you can see on the player list. So Blade had to switch over into his Smurf account, Sean, because there are problems with the Blizzard servers right now, and some accounts have problems connecting. So Team Makke on the left side of Tomb the Spider Queen with Makke on Liming, we on Malfurion, Burger on Johanna, Backhult of course. We have Blade on Rexa, Gia on Maiev, and to the right side, Lauber on ETC. We have Tai on Zeratul, Dino on Genji, Galnagulna on Ana, and Tobos is playing Jaina. So, there's a lot to talk about. This is on the newest patch, so we're on 50.0. Tassadar, as I mentioned, is banned for the remaining duration of this tournament. But of course, there have been quite a couple of changes to the towers, the cores, and also the forts. And probably the most important thing is that Blizzard has decided to go down the Dota route more or less. So it's a little bit like Dota 2 now, where if you're talking about the forts and the keeps, they have actually lost the slow that they previously held. But at this point, we have not only those indicators what the towers are actually attacking, but at the same time, if a hero within the range of a tower or a structure is getting attacked, then the aggro shifts a little bit. Previously, you could push with the minion wave and simply attack any hero. The towers would ignore that and would prioritize the minions. But now it's very, very different. The same style that we have in Dota 2, for example, where the star towers and the forts will prioritize protecting a hero and attacking the assailant. So it's a pretty cool mechanic if you want to prolong the average game length a little bit. And that's something that people have been asking Blizzard to do for a long, long time right now in the competitive scene. During the times of HGC, literally all the time, people were saying, hey, increasing the average game length by 2 to 3 minutes might be a really cool thing for the competitive setup. Blizzard has always refused to do that, and right now we are in a position where that finally came through. So the patch is actually kind of nice. There's a couple of changes where you can say like, well, is this really the way to go? Yeah, nice attack, but you can already tell. You can already tell right here the attack coming in against Johanna from those towers. So you can make the argument that there's different ways to go about this. For example, suggestions in the past have said you could reduce the death timers a little bit to prolong the average game time, make it easier for the defending team. You could, for example, also introduce a shield mechanic, which Blizzard actually started to use in All Direct Pass, but it was a suggestion made by top players and casters to use that on pretty much every single map, so it's not as easy for a team that has been beaten throughout the entire game to simply win one team fight and then win the game in a comeback. Nice kill versus a kill over here. Players are, of course, now starting to also slowly adjust to all of this. But it will be an interesting game. There's so many things here. I mean, again, we are talking about these fort changes, the tower changes, the aggro changes, the core mechanics, the new ones will come into play later on as the game comes to a close. But also, we have Zeratul played by Team Lauber, and that's always kind of nice. If you have someone like Tai on Zeratul, that's always quite a lot of fun, and Dino is playing Genji, so it's a hyper-aggressive setup that they're currently running here. And this should honestly be a pretty interesting game. Not only on this map, but the match in general is a pretty hyped one. I mean, Team Makke already won against the team of Quadnix, but of course Team Lauber lost, so they need to win this. They are going to do their best to make this happen. Zeratul actually eliminated over here, and that was a little bit of a problem for them, because it cost them also a couple of gems. I mean, look at the gem count. It's currently 17 gems against 48 because of those 3 kills. So Team Makke is actually doing very, very well over here as they're heading into this setup. Now, we're going to keep our eye, especially later on those towers and forts, because one of the things that I still want to highlight is it's not only that these towers and forts and keeps now have also target those heroes more aggressively, but also they are stronger against heroes now. So it's a 10% damage increase against heroes, and in addition to that, attacks reduce hero armor. So those targets become extremely vulnerable. It's not going to be as easy anymore to dive underneath a fort or some towers and try to take a hero apart. You could very well end up on the receiving end of the beating and then lose very, very quickly here. The interesting part though, I'm not quite sure if you mentioned it already, the slow is now gone, and that's actually huge too. This was one of the biggest problems when we were diving without a minion wave under an opponent's fort, because those forts and keeps slowed you down, and now those slows are not in play anymore. But it should actually, as I said, increase the average game length a little bit. It's going to make for some very interesting interactions there too. And that might actually also be a little bit of a secret buff to quite a few heroes, like for example Nazebo, who of course is going to excel if he ever gets to level 20 with his Vile Infection. Could even help a hero like Suljin, for example. But if that slight buff, if that ninja buff is going to be enough to really make him a meta hero, that's of course a completely different question. I guess Asmodan is somebody that we could see a little bit more. I don't think that's going to be a thing for the top level play, but there are a couple of things that we will have to watch and see how the meta is going to change because of these things. So the attacks are already coming, so right now we are right here pushing through the wall as usual. Already you can see that a level lead and 4 kills against 1. Making this a pretty good setup for Team Makke over here. They're trying to go for that fort even before the Web Weavers are in place, so this is going to be a really dangerous attack that we see incoming. And it should be a pretty hype one. So, let's have a bit of a quick look here. I feel there's one thing that I also should talk about a little bit. Every single time we're talking about the increase of average game length, and every single time I talked about this in the past, there's always a couple of idiots out there that's like, no, I don't want my game to be as long as LOL or Dota. I had a 30-minute game the other day. Yeah, so these people need to learn what average means. And an average game length increase of 2 to 3 minutes would be absolutely nothing in Heroes of the Storm. But since there's always like a bunch of idiots out there that just don't listen and they don't know what the word average actually entails, so I kind of feel I have to point that out specifically. And yeah, and if you want to know how I really feel, then yeah, just ask me later. Kappa. So, with level 10 abilities in, 2 forts taken down, I mean, this is looking pretty stompy here in game number 1. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit impressed and disappointed at the same time. I guess we have to give Team Lauber the benefit of the doubt here, considering that the level 10 should allow them to make bigger plays with Genji and Zeratul in particular. Also the nano boost on from Ana. But right now, it's a bit of a beating. They lost control in this game early on. And this is starting to become a bit of an issue. Yeah, but here we go. At this point, we have the Might of the Nerazim already in. We have already the attack against Zeratul again. Sammy needs to be careful over here, but he has the blink ready and can easily move out. Top side is the where attack now comes in as well. And off we go. Level 10 ability. Oh, stage dive even. Okay. Alright, baby. Down to the bottom of the map. Let's go! And Sean the Sheep, aka Blade, is dead. Yeah, that's a quick death right here. The problem, of course... Oh, Blessed Shield is also missing. That is not good. Backhold missing this one. It could have maybe led to a counter kill. The interesting part, of course, is that the gem amount that they turned in is heavily in favor of Team Makke at this point. So, there's that. And let's see if we can maybe get a little bit more done here. Alright. Yep, blue Web Weavers are coming in. Second wave for them, 2 Web Weavers in a row. I'm still waiting for Sammy to make his plays with the Might of the Nerazim. Yeah, after level 10, he should be able to really heavily capitalize on that, as he usually does. Also with the completion on his level 1, that's of course going to give him even more cooldown reduction on those blinks. And we have quests completed all across the board. Jaina's level 1, ETC, the kill against Li Ming, Makke is down, Web Weavers incoming on the other hand, and they need to burn this down as quickly as they can. They're starting to catch up in kills, and that's kind of what we expected here. Especially with the level 10 abilities now finally through. But they need to defend, and more importantly, they need to turn in as well. If they don't turn in soon, and maybe lose a few more heroes and additional gems, they're gonna be in big trouble in the long term. 13,000 damage now for Li Ming. We have 18,000 already for Genji. Rumor has it that he needs healing. At the bottom of the map, here comes the stage dive again. They're trying to tag team Sean, and they're gonna get Blade again. Or are they? Because there's already a little bit of an assist. And the Blessed Shield, and bam! Zeratul is dead. And Lauber is dying as well. That's a lot of gems now lost, and it was a good idea initially, but boy did that turn around quickly. With 6 kills against 3, this is an absolute slaughter. So much for increased average game time. I mean, again, we're talking about averages here, but this is the exact counterexample because currently we're watching an absolute and utter stomp when it comes to map control. The keep is already down. Also, again, the cores are now a little bit changed as well. Cores now have, so to say, special abilities, special attacks, if you so want, against against heroes. And on Tomb of the Spider Queen, that means that every 5 seconds the core is going to shoot what's called a death wave out that deals 5% of the maximum health. So it's like max damage, max health damage that it dishes out, and there's also a slow as well. That slow is pretty significant. That's a 70% slow. So it's going to be way riskier for a team to make a move towards the core. So they can't just simply win one fight, jump in, and then rush it down as quickly as possible. You might still be able to do that with like a Rhaegar Grey main setup with Bloodlust, which is now, of course, one of the top picks on Rhaegar since the patch. The previous patch, by the way, not 50.0. And the sanctification behind it. But generally speaking, you have to be a lot more cautious now when you're trying to take these forts, keeps down, and when you're making plays for the core itself. So that could become interesting. But in this game, I mean, this has been a one-way street setup so far. And Team Makke has done incredibly well. So, this guy is lost. Someone needs Google Maps. Yeah, gonna get taken down too. Is of course also providing vision, which is a little bit annoying. Finally eliminated. Alright, with 6 kills against 3 and a 1.5 level lead. Level 16 will of course be nice now. They need to finally get a turn in. They lost so many heroes, so many gems already, but if they can at least get the turn in right now, they might be able to lock in the first Webweaver wave and maybe, just maybe, get a few structures destroyed. That would be absolutely great. So, here we go. Attack keeps coming. Yeah, they're poking around it. And over here, Dino on his Horny D account gets the turn-in secured. Okay, next step, of course, is to try and get some damage done with it. The problem, as you might have already sniffed out, is the level 16 talent advantage for Team Makke. That's a big one. The worst actor in the world, again, gets his feigned death. Nobody ever believed that shit. But can be useful from time to time. Alright, Webweaver's already down. Still need to take down the Siege Giants over here. A little bit of attack in the mid lane as the blue team is already attempting to defend. And what is Team Lauber going to do? Did they just buy themselves a little bit more time? Are they going to try and go for a push? Trying to take the fight? Need to be careful. There is the setup with the Ring of Frost after Power Slide. They're trying to go for Makke, and it's not happening. Blessed Shield comes out, and the kill attempt again with the cage already locked in. Oh, the triple, nice! And the kill against Johanna. But ETC gets attacked, locked down, and healed by Ana, and actually saved. Gia is low, and Gia is dead. Zeratul with the big boy plays. Ty once again just showing his class on this hero. And now with Dino on Genji, they're even trying to go for Makke, but they can't destroy him. At the same time, the Webweaver at the bottom of the map. Oh my god, holy shit. That thing needs glasses, seriously. I mean, what the hell did you attack? There's nothing over here. So yeah, that Webweaver needs a pair of glasses and strong ones, please. But at least with level 16 talents and a 5 versus 3 advantage, we now have a boss about to be taken. So, off we go. Let's see what they can actually do with that. First one is already about to be taken down. And let's go, boys. Right now, boss is in, and that's the opportunity to shine. That's the moment to make some plays here. We already got 30,000 damage on Jaina, 21,000 on Li Ming. Everybody's still starting to move down to the bottom. Yeah, Zeratul, too aggressive. And gems lost again. Blue Webweavers are also coming down once more. That will give them an easy defense against the boss. Bigger question is, of course, can they themselves do more with the Webweaver wave that they just called down? Another keep would be the dream. Yeah, but Zeratul dying like this is a problem. You just can't go in like that if you're already in such a precarious situation. I mean, he needs to be a little bit more out there. He needs to risk himself, yes, but some risk are just a little bit too much. So Zeratul goes down, and now the attack against the Webweavers. Can they defend the keep? In comes ETC, has no stage dive, has stage dive, by the way. And jumps in right on the spot, trying to get some damage in. Gets locked down, or close to at least. The ring does not hit anything, but they take the Webweaver down, and that's the most important part. Over here, they need to also eliminate another one. Top side, of course. This one is easily taking the fort and will attack the keep as well, but they should be able to defend here. 7 kills against 5 now. 22 gems on the side of Dino. Topic Hack is about to be taken down. 7 kills against 5, but still this big lead in experience right over here. Ice block is in. EDC slides out to try and protect Jaina, but he doesn't have a chance. Doesn't stand a prayer, and now he's gonna fall too. Was a good thought. Nice moves at least from Zeratul and Genji, but they're not good enough. Ui survives, and Genji might actually be eliminated. If he's... yeah, he goes down. That's 27 gems down the drain. They are about to lose this. This is absolutely rough. They're starting to take everything down here. They're taking, first of all, the top keep. The one in the middle is already attacked. And here comes the move. Yeah, and here are those death waves. Exactly. So the waves are coming in. Again, that's a huge amount of damage. Percentage damage and 70% slow, as you can see. So huge impact, actually. But definitely dodgeable. So you have to play around that a little bit. And every single core has a mechanic like this now. To make the core more dangerous, to make it less easy. Make it a lot harder to actually take it down, but you can play around it, as you can see here. And with how dominant Team Makke was in this game so far, they won't have a problem. That is game 1 in the bag for the blue team. Team Makke with the lead in the best of 5, taking the W on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 2. Okay, that was a little bit of a stomp. Not really in kills. I mean, there was still the aggressive setup that we saw from Genji and Zeratul. But that was a pretty one-sided game if you just looked at the structures on the map and the control over the objective. Team Makke definitely aiming for the number 1 spot in this group right now. Team Lauber, on the other hand, is in serious trouble at this point because they pretty much won't be able to get out of that 3rd place anymore. So, of course, as I said previously, if you end up 3rd place out of 3 in your group, it means that you will start the playoff tournament in the lower bracket, whereas the number 1 and the number 2 seed out of each group will start in the winner bracket semi-final, so to say, and play that out. But Volskaya Foundry is our current map. There's definitely still quite a few things that can be changed here, especially when it comes to the number 1 slot in the group. So, first of all, we see the ban against Mephisto again. Not a shock, again, Makke, really strong here with the hero, has played on Volskaya Foundry a lot, also in Tomb of the Spider Queen. We see Junkrat, again, banned out as well. But there's still a couple of changes that could now come in. Again, the big changes with the tower aggro, the fort, the keep aggro, the changes to the core, for example, they will have an impact. And they will also have impacts on certain balances with heroes, but there will be developments of new strategies. It's not going to be too crazy, but there will be some small adjustments for sure. Especially the way that the tower aggro is now working is going to have an impact on heroes that, for example, just used to move in. Let's say Malfurion, for example, the level 4 talent, going for Broccoli, trying, of course, to get some damage together, but also blocking shots at the same time, trying to push into towers and into keeps sometimes, just by spawning Broccoli, focusing the shots on the spawn, on the summoning, and then getting a kill. That's going to be really difficult to pull off right now. Greymane gets picked again, this time actually as a first pick. Actually, in this series, first time for Greymane. So yeah, Greymane gets picked as the first pick. Leo is already out, so is Zul, so the nerfs to Zul in the recent patch haven't really changed anything. And as I already mentioned in game number 1, but I want to point it out again because the question will pop up, Tassadar has been banned for the remaining duration of this tournament, so we are not going to see Tassadar here at all. But Chromey comes in. Together with that, we have also Thrall. His sanctification, of course, still empowers a lot of big plays here. And keep in mind that taking him away from Greymane is also a really good idea, since Greymane just absolutely thrives on sanctification and the shields that Thrall provides. Not even to mention the level 7 talent, the Swift Retribution for Thrall, which helps him even more with a lot of this. Of course, at this point, we have Rega, picked by Galne Gulnar. And what else? We come into the ban phase. And let's see what we're gonna get banned out right now. Zeratul, okay, a little bit weary of those jumps into the backline. Chromey, until she has a level 13, might also be really susceptible to that targeted damage. That's the thing. Up to the top, there's already the pick against Jimmy. I mean, he's great against the Protector, to just name one. And what else do we have? On the left side, what do we get for Makke in particular? Could still play that Tracer setup. I mean, again, they banned it previously against him on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now there's a chance to still go for Malfurion and pick Tracer together with it, if they really want to help him to make the plays here. Ana comes in instead, and we get Thrall. Okay, so Thrall on this map, Blade by Blade. Again, Blade using the account Sean now. Blizzard servers, they had some problems earlier, which is why some of those players are currently using Smurf accounts or alternate accounts that they usually use. There have been multiple ones that had problems logging in with their main account, Tobos being one example why he now uses a account Tobos is muted. Same for Horny D, that's Dino using an alternate account, and Blade is now using the account Sean for the same reason. Sylvanas comes in, so does Urel. Okay, so we have the goat in play. A goat among wolves. Yeah, Rega and Greymane and Urel on the other side. Okay, so last but not least, Makke, obviously a little bit the linchpin here for all the strategies. He's normally the player that plays the... I mean, you would call it carry in other MOBAs. But in this case, it seems to be Rexa. Okay, so I was expecting something a little bit more agile, but not so much. Game number 2. Volskaya Foundry, the 1-0 lead for Team Makke. Let's see what the blue team can pull off on our second map of this best of 5 series. Game number 2, Volskaya Foundry. Makke on Thrall, we have Backhult on Tyrell, Gia on Chromey, Ui on Ana, and Blade on Rexa. On the right side of the map, Lauber for his team on Garrosh, Galnugulna on Rega, Dino on Greymane, Tai on Urel, and we see Tobos on Sylvanas. Okay, so again, changes have of course been big. When we talk about Volskaya Foundry, we've already seen on Tomb of the Spider Queen the changes with that death wave that comes in here. A little bit of a different mechanic on the core on Volskaya Foundry. We're going to see it later on, but I want to mention it as we start off into the game. Well, actually, at this point, let's focus a little bit on this little skirmish. Might even lead to a kill, but no, they dodged the Chromey damage, and so they're good for now. So on Volskaya Foundry, every 6 seconds, compared to the 5, where those death waves on Tomb of the Spider Queen spawn, the core shoots out 3 rocket fists, pretty similar to the Protector. Oh, Urel is down. Okay. Yeah, that was a quick kill. First blood is in. Yeah, but again, it shoots out those rocket fists, 3 of them, at nearby heroes and deals damage and knocks them back. So if you get hit by that shit, then it's a lot harder for you to continue doing damage to the core. So this happens every 6 seconds, and therefore you need to be a little bit careful around it. First kill is in, second one is also secured, but the counter kill against Chromey, so at least they are showing some teeth over here. On level 1 we have the Trolling Thunder for Thrall. As you can see, the talent has of course a couple of patches ago been buffed a little bit and is now viable and has been used several times, especially on lanes where you expect to have a prolonged one-on-one setup. Crash Lightning is of course another talent that you could see sometimes on this map in particular, but we'll see how exactly all of this works out. So, right now, 2 kills against 1, a little bit of a lead for Team Makke. We still have the items taken on both sides. Turrets, of course, for now. In the level 1 talents, we also have the Unrivaled Strength over here. That's an interesting one. I mean, again, has a little bit more of a throw attempt. And we'll see how that's gonna work out for them. Either way, Lauber top side with his boys, still looking of course for a couple of potential targets. They're also, in this case, focusing a little bit more on that Makke top side. Yeah, good setup actually for Rega, for his healing totem over here. The Hand of Freedom! And Rega is dead again. This is doggy abuse, seriously. At least Thrall is immediately getting punished by Greymane, but Greymane is also eliminated. He's not the only one. Damn, they are murdering. Team Lauber is getting completely destroyed. This is kinda insane. 5 kills against 2 on map number 2. This is very, very similar to what we observed on the first map. This is taking a turn for the worst on the red team side, so they're getting absolutely wrecked right here. And yeah, it's a little bit problematic. I mean, again, they're getting just absolutely crushed. And one of the things that concerns me a little bit is that Rega is literally killed instantly every single time they go into a fight. I mean, this is the 2nd time already that Galnugulna died here, so with him biting forward, it seems like they just abuse his position instantly whenever that happens. The advantage that we're now seeing in terms of items on the blue team side is also pretty neat. And, well, let's have a bit of a look. Currently down to the bottom of the map. what are we gonna get here? I mean, they're still trying to make their plays. 5 kills against 2, rotate to the top maybe. Makke, as you can tell, is currently doing his thing. And with level 7 talents now, we first of all have the Swift Retribution. We got the Ancestral Wrath. Pretty much the only talent that is worth picking on level 7 for Thrall outside of Brawls. At least if you want to take the strongest talent. And they go at least for Misha, so they might be able to get some experience over here, but nope, not quite the case. 71% have already been accumulated on the checkpoint for Team Makke. Team Lauber trying to take the position now. And let's go. They are behind experience. When it comes to items, there's 2 in the hands of the blue team. Nice flip, straight into the range of the tower, but not enough to get a kill. Yeah, those towers with the aggro, I'm immediately going to focus on that whenever we have a situation like this. At this point, I'm going to try and keep this, but it seems like, I mean, again, if they just don't move in very quickly after he takes the item over here, then this is a free protector for Team Makke. And they let it go. And a protector, after you've already taken a lead in experience, is going to be a big problem. So normally, again, the whole setup through the middle, try and take the wall down, then rotate topside, take the fountain apart, and I think this is exactly what we're going to witness here. Trying to hold the experience on the lane at least, but the rotation is there. Temporal Loop for Chromey has also been picked. And this is starting to become an incredibly dangerous game for Team Lauber, because the snowball has hit them heavily on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and it seems very much like this could happen to them again on the second map, of course. Yeah, damage is slowly there. There's one of those rocket fists that you can see the core shoot out later. Big patch, of course, 50.0. Has changed quite a few things. It's going to be interesting how it affects this map in particular, to be honest with you. Since this was already one of the maps that has usually lasted a bit longer than others, so it could have a big impact there too. Now they opened the wall up, and this one is going to be taken down whenever Thrall just simply hits one single chain lightning, or someone else comes in with a ranged ability. But the fountain is also exposed, and it hasn't been claimed yet, but it should be able for... I mean, they should be able to really destroy it before that happens. So right now, we currently have over here another setup. Bam, another item is in. Top side, you guessed it already. The healing beacon is the next target, but there's the level 10 abilities, and they're starting to make their play. Can they lock maybe Lauber in? Seems likely. And yeah, he goes for the flip, and it gets some damage in, but it's not enough. Again, the slow got removed. The towers, they don't slow anymore, so there's no slow available anymore. It's more damage, but less utility. Now, in the sense of the aggro shifting towards an attacking hero, the utility is there, but you can't capitalize on that slow any longer. So that's an important part. And of course, there's also a hero armor reduction that we briefly talked about earlier. Forts and Keeps, for example, reduce hero armor by 10 now with their shots. And the maximum amount of armor that you can lose is 40. But yeah, towers do only, well, reduce the hero armor only by 5. So there's that. Yeah, Bloodlust again for Rhaegar with the Greymane setup. After the patch, 1-2 patches ago, Bloodlust has now become the option for Rhaegar. Talent has been buffed, and Greymane, of course, benefits heavily from it. 7 kills against 2, paint a pretty bleak picture. Especially since Lauber is again in trouble, and without an ancestral healing, there is no way to save him in that situation. Maybe if they moved in a little bit earlier, they could have tried... Ah, that's another kill against Sylvanas. I was about to say they could have tried to drop the Bloodlust just for the speed increase, but it's brutal. That's 9 kills against 2 right now. And Makke's team is looking like they're going to absolutely dominate this particular group. If Makke's team wins this game, wins this series, then obviously they take the #1 spot after they also successfully took down Team Quacknix. And Lauber's team didn't even get a single map against Quacknix's team. Not one. They lost with a 0-3. So if they don't really come back into this, either on map number 2 or maybe the third one, that would mean that Lauber and his boys don't get a single map in this entire group stage. This was a great Bloodlust zone, a really good setup from especially Garrosh. The early kill against Rexa, but Garrosh is dead too, and with the Sanctification and the Earthquake, turns out that Team Makke actually came back into it. Sammy still on the run up at the top, so Ty over here on his URL is in a bit of trouble. Has to pop his ult too. He could still try and make the play for maybe Ana, but instead it's Greymane that gets murdered by Ana and Chromey. Level 13 talents now ready, and the objective is already channeled by Thrall himself. Yeah, tough situation right now. 11 kills against 3. It's a bloodbath, ladies. The damage output is also indicating that a bit. You see the top damage in the game is actually Greymane with 23,000. Well, I guess at this point Thrall has taken over. It's a little bit above that. Chromey on 22,000 herself. Item control is something that Team Lauber wants to get, but they are not going to fight for this one. Not without the level 13 talents. Misha gets thrown out. And goes for the charge. And that's another death. Lauber is going to die again. Counter kill. Thrall isn't here. Still a 4 versus 4. They are trying, but it doesn't seem like they can be pulling anything off here. Yeah, Team Lauber is running it down mid hard. Just getting heavily outplayed here. Sammy is gonna die. Yes, Misha comes in for the kill. That's a very bloodthirsty bear that we have over here. And up to the top. Protector has been taken. I mean, this entire fight was a 4 versus 5 when it initially started. Of course, there was a talent advantage for Team Makke, but still. And Rexa is just now, or sorry, Thrall is sitting there and is just saying like, okay, boys, I got the Transformer. What are we going to do now? Can't even take the fort down because there's no gunner on him. He's just piloting this thing alone. So it's mind-blowing to me how someone like Thrall, who is pretty dumb by all accounts, is able to control a mech like this. It's always one of these mind-blowing things. I mean, that guy has never seen a piece of technology in his life. And all of a sudden, he just like commandeers the mech over here and is piloting this thing as if he never did anything else. Big push at the bottom of the map for the fountain. You want to prep the top bot lane, of course. So they took the fountain down. Good damage against the 4-2. The fight isn't over yet. They're still trying to isolate Ana and could get the kill here. This is a 3-hero setup. Lauber is dead on the other hand. Chromey gets the kill. I mean, this is getting to a... this is honestly starting to become a little bit ridiculous. That was a 3 versus 4, and instead of killing a hero, they lost one. It's 16 versus 13 now on the talent board. We have the mech still in the middle of the map. By now, only the pilot is there. No gunner. They're still trying to go for the fort. Another kill down here. Sammy is down. And slowly but steadily, this is looking like quick match. Right now, Team Makke is just toying with their opponents. And they get another kill against Thrall. I'm not quite sure what's happening over there on the red team side. But I would suggest a strong coffee after the next game. Because this is... getting a bit crazy. I mean, there's really good players on the red team, but it doesn't seem like they mesh together at all right now. Makke's team is just absolutely outplaying them, at least for the time being. A 2.5 level lead in game number 2, already 1 game ahead. It's like, damn son. 15 kills against 3, that's a bit nuts. Now, Group B has been way more one-sided than Group A. We've seen insane games in Group A. I mean, just incredible matches. I would say that at least when we look towards Group B, the match between Makke and Quacknix's team, those were pretty solid. I mean, there is still that macro level that we've seen from Team Quacknix. But this, on the other hand, looks a little bit like a beatdown. And Rexa is getting absolutely abused at the front line. 6 kills against him already. Yeah, there's another quick flip. Nicely done. Good timing too, but Lauber exposes himself because of that. Not indecently, don't get me wrong, but to the opponent's team a little bit. The kill against Rega, he still gets the bloodlust out, but another follow-up kill as we see Garrosh die. Greymane is also dead, the fort is eliminated, and they try to make the play for Tobos. They get him, and that Sylvana's down. 19 against 3 kills, and the entire bot lane absolutely open. Damn. I mean, just damn. This is just insane. It's a 4-level lead now. 4 levels ahead. And yeah, you can actually tell. Again, like the damage, Misha is soaking the damage up right now. But there are no slows anymore. So the slows are gone from forts and keeps, but there is extra damage. And look at the armor. Minus 40 armor because of the continuous shots that the keep fired out against Makke. So now, with every single shot, the fort or keep shoots against you as a hero when you have gotten the aggro. It reduces your armor by 10. So you're actually really vulnerable if you stay there too long. So that can be a problem, but let's be honest, only if other heroes are there to capitalize on it. And they're just taking these kills wherever they want them. it's getting ridiculous. And that's another kill against Lauber. It's now 18, nearly 19 versus 5, and it is a slaughter. It's an absolute bloodbath. This isn't legal in a lot of countries and states that I lived in, I can tell you that much. If you have kids watching this, I heavily recommend that you make sure that they are actually out of the room in a few seconds, because they are going to be traumatized for their entire life. This is like 10 years from now, they will still be in therapy, and people will ask them what happened to you, and they're like, well, I watched how Team Makke obliterated Team Lauber on Volskaya Foundry. And everybody is going to be just like, oh my god, you poor soul. How do you actually get out of bed in the morning? Okay, so bot lane. That's where we have the next objective about to be taken. I feel the red team at this point is just hiding, trying to not die anymore. I mean, jokes aside, they're obviously trying to get to level 16. Might as well hide, though, because that pain train is coming. And it will be problematic. I mean, again, kids are watching this. Half of them start to take drugs, the other half starts to take alcohol. Pretty much the same thing, but yeah. So, be a responsible adult, get your kids out of the room. I mean, seriously. Garrosh, more so get wrecked. Nearly double digits. Like, seriously, what am I watching here? I think at this point, the red team just simply said, like, okay, fuck it, we're just gonna try and go for kills here. They have to go for the fight too, so don't get me wrong. They obviously try to flank. It's the only thing they can do. If that protector makes it over to the core, then it's lights out. But this is just absolutely insane. They're still trying to fight. They're trying to get that nasty Chromey. But they can't get the kill. The Sanctification is in. And we're looking at nearly a 5-man wipe. So this is brutal. Okay, let's see a couple of heroes coming in so that we can at least show you the new core mechanic over here. Yeah, there's already the first attack, and yes, here come the shots. Every 6 seconds, we're gonna see now these fists come out. As you can see here, you can still dodge them, no problem. But that's one of the new core mechanics that we have there. You can dodge it, shouldn't be too impactful, but might become a little bit more dangerous to attack the core. And that's game 2. Team Makke with a 2-0 lead against Team Lauber after the first 2 maps in this in-house league match. Guys, 2-0. Honestly, don't know what to say. I expected this to be a bit closer, but right now we are in Stomptown apparently. Team Makke is just rolling over Team Lauber, and the boys in red are just taking a beating every single time they poke their head out. So let's see if on Infernal Shrines we can see a little bit of a comeback here from Team Lauber. We've had incredible reverse sweeps when we've been looking at the Division S playoffs in Europe, for example. Others, of course, too. But the gap between the two teams is right now absolutely insane. So something has to change, or Team Lauber will end up being last in the standings without even a single map win, which would be kind of nuts. So, Junkrat gets banned again. We've seen that previously. Muckers, Mephisto is also getting banned out. Chromey gets banned. And I really, really want to see what exactly the red team can do in order to bring this back. So, also I want to see a few more games on the new patch, because it feels like when you have a game, you know, there's a little bit more even. That's really when those new mechanics on the forts and the keeps plus the core kick in. But in a total stomp, we're seeing very little of that. There's very few of these rotations that you can really capitalize on, where all of a sudden the core mechanic might make a difference. We have Vala taken, so this is already a little bit of a different pace that we're seeing. Very likely a multi-shot build for the objective. At least on Infernal Shrines, we're going to see another core mechanic kicking in. But I feel even the cores haven't really proved to be too impactful in that kind of game. I have zero doubt that in an even game it's going to be a way different setup, and you have to play around those things a little bit more. But over here, it's just one-way Street Heroes of the Storm, and Team Makke is just brutalizing them. Now we have Makke on Greymane. Tyrell is in too. That's already nasty. I mean, again, you have that Sanctification, you have the Swift Retribution, and you have the shield that Tyrell supply whenever Greymane wants to go in for the kill. Malfurion gets picked, so he has a bit more control about this. Johanna is in too, so that's a blind at least that they have. That's a lot of wave clear on the shrine, on the lane, so that helps them a lot to secure experience and also secure additional points on the objective. And honestly, that is actually really good for them right now. So they have the Condemn, probably Eternal Retaliation on level 4 again for the cooldown reduction and continuous condemns, and on top of that, Vala with a multi-shot build. There's actually a lot that they bring to the table here with this composition. Yeah, in comes the ban against Zeratul. Not a shocker. Instead, Rhaegar gets banned. Yeah, Rhaegar gets banned for Bloodlust actually right now. So again, Bloodlust obviously buffed, right? And if you have a composition with Greymane and Tyrael, you already see that they're trying to come into the fight swinging. And if you have a Bloodlust behind that, then oh boy, are you gonna be in trouble. So yeah, this entire setup has now shifted. With Blizzard buffing Bloodlust, this is now a setup where all of a sudden this entire dynamic has changed. And Rhaegar takes a very different position in the healer segment, in the support segment here. Lucio instead, Sound Barrier plays of course, and on top of that we have also Blade on Leo. As I said before, Sean is Blade's alternate account. Blizzard servers having trouble, and therefore a lot of these players currently playing on a Smurf account, on a second account at this point. But let's go, let's see what else we are going to get. We have our last two picks, and it's interesting to see what Ty is going to take now. So that's going to be important. And let's see. Orphea, Coffin Girl, alright. Rumor has it, in case you haven't heard it yet, that what Orphea carries around in her coffin is actually HGC in the hopes and dreams of the fan base. And at the same time, we have Kira being played. Okay, so definitely two heroes that I didn't expect here. And also, this is more or less a single tank frontline. I mean, Kira is there, but normally when we have her, it's more a triple frontline instead. So the last pick, it is Gul'dan. Okay, so here we go. Infernal Shrines, third map in the series. Gul'dan the last pick. 2-0 already for Team Makke. Let's see if Team Lauber can bring it back, or if this is going to be a big boy stomp from the blue team. Game number 1 was a stomp. Game number 2 was even stompier. And game number 3 might be the beginning of a wonderful comeback. And a story that all the players on the red team will still tell their children and grandchildren. But it gets delayed as Makke has his 3-2-3 moment and pauses the game, which gives us, of course, an opportunity to first of all go over the players here. So we have Makke on the left side for the blue team on Greymane, Burger on Tyrael, again, Backhult. We have Blade on his Sean account on Leoric, we on Lucio, Gia on Gul'dan. And to the right side of the map, we currently look at Team Lauber with Galdagulnar on Malfurion, Sammy on Kira, as both teams are trying to induce an epileptic seizure on the audience. Horny D, aka Dino, on Vala, Lauber on Johanna, and Tobos on Orphea. Let's go! We talked about the core mechanics already on all of the other maps that were played in the series. Now, just to give you a bit of an idea what's happening on Infernal Shrines. Now, Infernal Shrines is a little bit special in the sense that those special mechanics are kicking in a lot less than they do on other maps. So while we had on Tomb of the Spider Queen every 5 seconds this Death Wave, and every 6 seconds those Rocket Fists on Volskaya Foundry, now here on Infernal Shrines every 12 seconds, so twice the amount of time, the core on Infernal Shrines spawns 2 volleys of frozen orbs, they're called. A little bit weird considering that we're on Infernal Shrines. So this is not a nice map. Oh, look at that. First blood. Trade value. Oh, nearly counter kill. But yeah, so we are actually on Infernal Shrines, but every 12 seconds, those frozen orbs are coming in. So apparently that's the time when hell freezes over. And these things are going to deal 5% maximum health as damage. So again, one of those max HP damage setups. And in addition to that, as you would expect from frozen orbs, they're actually rooting enemy heroes, and in this case for 1.5 seconds. So pretty impactful mechanic, but it only triggers every 12 seconds. Over here, also pretty impactful rotation, and boy, this is going to be a steal, isn't it? Lauber is still fighting around it, but Jojo goes down, Makke gets away, and Malfurion is also dead. And now they're looking at another kill, this time against Vala. Haha, the Greymane kill, and Orphea is down. 3 kills against 2, oh boy. The camp is stolen too. This is once again a bad start into the game. It started off with the first blood. That one was nice. Sammy is now coming in and literally inting into 3 heroes. And yeah, all of a sudden we have a level 4 advantage. And it's kind of bananas. Yeah, Dino gets pinged. I mean, maybe he was expected to move out there and try and get a kill together with Kira. We see her pretty rarely, so that's a hero I even forget the name. So yeah, Kira went straight back to Wakanda after she got eliminated there. Done with this shit, boys. Let's go back home. But now that we have at least level 4 talents on both sides, maybe they can make something happen. The problem is with this big of a lead in experience, you're looking at level 7 talent advantages on the first objective. So have fun with that. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's going on over here, but it is pretty nasty. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I gotta be serious about this. Right now, we're looking at level 7 on the objective. If Team Lauber is trying to make a play here, they're very likely going to get completely wrecked. Having a talent disadvantage this early in the game is just bonkers. So they need to get the experience first and then try to go into the shrine. So if Team Makke moves in right away, which they should right now, they will have a significant lead and very likely get this one for free. There's the level 7 right here. And they're starting to make their play in. Yeah, let's go. Level 7 versus level 4 talents. But Leo is in the middle of the map. That's at least something. I mean, with Leo in the middle of all of this, so he's going to get experience for his team. They are still rotating. Level 7 talent advantage is still being played out here, but we have a lead for Dianu now, as he is getting those multi-shots through. And Leo's just trying to get more and more experience for Team Makke, and currently it's exactly what they're able to do. Kira has to rotate against that. Leo's currently attempting to body block her and slow her down a little bit, and the wall is falling. Yeah, down here, this is actually starting to become a bit of a problem because the entire wall is about to go down. Leo can now rotate into the middle and then to the top if he wants to help out here. Level 7 talents are finally ready on both sides. Makke is a little bit low. Can they get that kill? And the answer is no. They actually cannot. That was clutch, but they're getting out. 34 points on the objective. Seems like Team Lauber is at least walking away with the first, Punisher over here. Okay. Honestly, Team Makke could have won this one. If they would have moved Leo into the fight, a 5 versus 5 with a level 7 advantage would have been the play. But let's see if there's enough momentum for Team Lauber to mitigate the damage advantage, or sorry, the experience advantage that Team Makke already has. They're starting to go in with this. But, yep, off we go. These pushes are now a lot more dangerous. As we said before, the changes in the patch that dropped yesterday have been pretty significant. So now those towers and, well, the forts don't slow anymore, but they do more damage and reduce the armor on heroes. And the aggro is very different. So now if you're attacking a hero that is in range of a tower or a fort, the fort or tower will immediately readjust the aggro and attack the hero the same way that it's done in Dota 2 and, to my knowledge, also in League of Legends. So a very different setup that we now have, and this should make forts much, much safer to stay underneath them, and therefore a little bit more tricky to actually push them. 5 kills against 3, and there's the counter kill against Greymane. Alright, B-steps are also out. Semi at least makes it, and now we are a little bit even in experience again. So that gives me a bit more hope for this game, because after we've seen the fight down here over the camp previously, I really thought that this should be, or that this could be lights out early on. But we'll see. We'll see. For now, we're still Gucci. Over here. Yeah, that's a kill! Even the Blessed Shield. Quick pick with the hotkeys, and then the Blessed Shield Yodo out, taking Lucio apart. Now both teams have their level 10. Blessed Shield, of course, also denied him any chance of going into a sound barrier if he would have gotten it. That's a nice move, giving vision over the wall as usual, and then trying to take the fountain down, so that's a good step. 5 kills versus 5. Level 10 abilities. Okay, we're talking. They're actually starting to go for a little bit of a comeback. I like that. And let's see if they can actually get to a point where they really start a comeback into this and maybe even win one of these games. So, 5 kills versus 5, and let's go. Camps are taken. Map literally painted red right now. Only camp that has previously been taken by the blue team is the Shaman camp up at the top left. Those should respawn soon, TM. And at the bottom of the map, still a little bit on the push. Yeah, gets at least the multi-shot damage out. Okay, they're starting to make their play again for Berkult, but the mobility is of course there for him. Blessed Shield, nicely done. And Lucio nearly down. Horrifier is already coming out. Everybody's moving away immediately. Yeah, and you can actually see when those towers or any structure is now attacking heroes, you actually see also that target beam, so to say, which indicates very clearly which hero is being attacked by this. Okay. Over here, top right, what do we get? Both of the teams now with the Shaman camp again. This time we actually have the mid shrine spawning. But since previously this wall has been taken down with the first Punisher, there's obviously now an opportunity to maybe even go for the fort. If those two camps collide, then who's gonna have the better option there? They try to go for Lauber, they take him down. Nice sanctification again. Tai comes in, they're trying to make the play for Makke, but Greymane gets out. Great hit with the ult, but it's just not enough. Makke barely surviving. Gul'dan also low for just a second, but they get him out too. This could have gone pretty bad for Team Makke. But Lauber's team, they did not have the luck that they needed in those hits. It was really clutch play also from the blue team, of course. Now they have the level 13 advantage. Yeah, a little bit of a poke around the minion stacks, but Lauber is back to business. They would love to get the level 13 though before they engage into the fight again. Kira is going to get her ult back, so final strike will be ready in just another second. Tobos over here, gets Entomb, Blessed Shield is in, and Tobos gets out. Nicely done with the Shadow Waltz. Greymane is dead. B-steps already by Tobos over here. Is like, hell yeah, bitch, there we go. Takes Greymane down. That was a nice escape and was also a great Blessed Shield from Lauber. He was back to business and was also able to supply the flashlight for the blind. And now Greymane is dead. Nicely done. Really good setup. So all of a sudden it seems like we get another objective for Team Lauber. Okay, look at this. Took them 2 games, 2 maps to wake up. But it seems that right now they are actually starting to fight back a little bit. Okay, Dino up at the top. Going up against Leo, but Leo's ghosting away, especially since he sees Lauber moving in as well. Down to the bottom of the map, Sam is currently sitting tight. They're going currently on 38, 39. There's the 40, and that's a frozen Punisher right there. Okay, let's go. Dino is a little soap bar. He needs the soap bar because he's a dirty, dirty boy. And in we go. Camp is down. Wall is about to fall. The bait over right here. Wraithwalk to bait it deeper in. And yeah, you see, here's the attack immediately. Sammy is trying to target a couple of heroes, and immediately the fort is focusing on him. But of course, that is a frozen Punisher, and that makes this a whole lot easier. So Strafe is through. They're trying to get the kill against Leo, and Leo is dead. The fort has also fallen, and they start the rotation towards the top with Vala to take this one down. Okay, let's go. Top side. Bam. Yeah, damage output. Let's have a bit of a look at this. This should be a bit more closer than the previous games. 27,000 for Gul'dan, 30,000 for Vala. Another 14k, second damage, second highest damage actually, even above Greymane for Leo. And we have 22,000 for Kira and 25k for Orphea. Yeah, again, that coffin hits hard. If you have the hopes and dreams of the esports fan base of Heroes of the Storm in that coffin, you can imagine that that thing weighs a ton. If you get hit with that, it's pretty much an insta-kill. Or at least it should be. But off we go. I mean, they want the level 16, right? It's still clutch. I mean, it's 6 kills against 7, so don't get me wrong. It's not like Team Lauber is all of a sudden dominating here or anything. But it's a much closer game. They can still lose this one, so they're not massively ahead. But they took the first fort, so that's already worth quite a bit. What else can they actually get here? Oh, come on! Ah, Lauber! Yeah, good jukes. Juke City, Mayor Backhold. That was a good juke against the Blessed Shield. I mean, again, in this case, you can YOLO the ults out, because by the time that the next objective is going to be up, the ults will be back. It's one of the reasons why in this situation throwing a heroic ability out is not a big problem. As long as you can avoid an even fight with your opponent. Because if you don't, then that matters. But they're just not going to make an aggressive play right now. Just going to wait it out a little bit. But yeah, missing the ults here is not a big issue. They were trying to make the play. If they get the kill, it's fantastic. If they don't, there's nothing really lost. As you can see with another 15 seconds left, the Blessed Shield is going to be back just in time, and so will be the Twilight Dream on Malfurion. So that's going to be alright. So the jump is coming in at the bottom of the map. They're trying to go for Leo. Blade is actually going to die. Yeah, the Entomb. I mean, again, I'm not quite sure why he throws it out there. I don't really think it's going to mean anything, but still. By the way, you can see reduced armor, minus 20 now. 4 shots of the towers were fired against Lauber, so the armor gets reduced by 20. Forts and keeps reduce the armor by 10 with each shot. Towers by 5, and the maximum amount of armor that you can lose through all of this is 40. So that came through with the new patch. So a lot of changes over there. But yeah, let's go. What else? 8 kills against 6. Next shrine spawning topside again. Yeah, can they actually take that fountain down? That would be nice, because the blue team still has one. Our team doesn't. Yeah, fountain gets attacked. Aggro shifts. And they move out. And we still see the camps taken. Dino needs a little bit of a heal. It's like Genji right now. I need healing. I needs a little bit more healing than that, if you ask me. Okay, that might be a bit nasty as they engage into that battle topside. Okay. Now we have 8 kills against 6. 18 versus 18 any moment. This one already taken down with the 16 talents. Frost shot is even in. More control and more poke from Dino. So you can use that. Has to get still hit by Gul'dan, who has at 35 stacks for his level 1 now. Has the Ruler's Affliction, but still needs to have the last 5 stacks to complete his Echoed Corruption. And they're taking over at the spot here. Okay, a little bit of extra damage comes in. Keep Lauber in mind with this Eternal Retaliation and the Condemns that he can push out here for the cooldown reduction. 17, 18 stacks against 11 now. Yeah, everybody is just trying to get some easy poke in before they connect for a final setup. There's the Entomb against Vala, and Vala is dead. Mace to the face, Sanctification and Sound Barrier used at the same time. Fantastic Entomb by Blade, actually. Gul'dan is trying to set something up for a counter kill against Makke, and that might actually come through, but it doesn't. The wolf gets out. Leo, on the other hand, has a problem here, and he might get moonfired into oblivion, and that's exactly what happens. But Kira is also a little bit low. Look at Ophir. That's a Nexus original right there. Gets the kill against Gul'dan. They're trying to get the follow-up, and all of a sudden we're talking about a 4 versus 3, 4 versus 2. They are absolutely murdering them now. Lulcio can rush around a little bit. I mean, he's like a bunny on speed, but is he going to get out? And the answer is actually, fuck me, yes. Literally just walks out. It's like na 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 na, and just moves out. It's just like doesn't care. It's like, see you later, boys. I got this. So yeah, Lulcio with a big lull shows them the middle finger. Yeah, who needs a high five if you have a middle finger? So 11 against 7 kills. A bit of pressure at the bot lane. Vala is actually the one moving in for it, and topside is gonna lose the fort now because of this. Yeah, because and with this I mean the Arcane Punisher is moving in. So down here, Vala gets the 20 for them, so that's a Farfly Quiver in their hands. And over here, the attack keeps coming. Yeah, the fort is already down. Couldn't bait the Punisher deeper than that. Vala is taking the bottom camp. She's not going to join the top fight, and they're actually abandoning this push, and instead are making their way now into the middle, and I guess then towards the bot lane to try and take another fort down while all of this happens. So off we go. 11 kills against 7. This is more what I wanted to see. Yeah, Broccoli is actually still getting the shots here, as long as they can still push this, as long as there's no hero around. So, okay, so as long as they kill the structures, Broccoli can at least soak those shots, so there's no aggro taken by simply attacking the structures. Okay, that's good to know for sure. Unless there's a hero around again, and they gotta get this one. Easy peasy. Okay, and they're even timing it. Yeah, they're gonna try and get the double camp through the middle. Siege up on this one. Yeah, double camp is about to be taken. Bam! And let's go. Damage output, 45,000 by Coffin Girl. 37,000 on the other side by Gul'dan. And it's a trap. Yes, bless shield. I don't... Maybe? What? Oh! I actually get it! Nice! The YOLO, all the ults out, they're saying, like, look at that long distance blessed shield. I mean, that one was beautiful. Lauber might have missed one earlier, but that one was sexy as hell. I mean, that was maximum distance right there. Maximum effort, maximum distance. They got the kill, and now they're starting to take down this keep. Yeah, big damage over here. Big damage. And they can get a bit more. Look at this, minus 10 armor still. Another hit keeps coming, but the keep is down. Nicely done. Ah, did they just play with their food in the first 2 games? Maybe it's a fan service, you know? Maybe they just look at this and they're saying like, you know what, boys? Let's just go deep, lose 2 games, and then make the reverse sweep happen. Just in case anybody actually believes that's obviously not happening, since Team Lauber has already lost the opportunity to get themselves in a decent position in this group because they lost the maps. But still, fighting back here would of course still be quite nice. And, well, let's go. 20 versus 20 right now, which of course means that we have also the Buried Alive. It's going to be pretty hefty. In addition to that, by the way, Defense of the Angels. And what else are we going to get? The Haunt is into. Alright. Let's go. Next fight is going to be at the bottom of the map. And the next Shrine spawns. Mid lane will still be pushing. Top lane, of course, another option. Only 6 stacks on Broccoli, by the way. Only 6 stacks. So I hit only 6 of those. Yeah, there's the Shrine activating. Wakanda Girl is already sitting in the shadows over here, waiting for her opportunity. Whereas up towards the top, the teams are still rotating a little bit. Okay, Lauber is showing. The rest of the team is still trying to stay out of vision range. Top side is attacking. And down here with another 10 seconds missing, the red team is taking position. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Let's go. Setting this up. Can set us up in the bushes. They have the lead now too, of course. Yep, get the easy 8. Easy 9. Alright, there's Kira against Leo. The fight is starting. This could end the game. This could bring us to a 4th game or seal the deal with a 3-0. Probably not if the blue team takes it. They haven't taken the 4th down yet. Really good damage here once again. Okay, Strafe comes in. They're trying to go for Leo. They're zoning them out completely here. 20 against 18 stacks on the other hand. So the blue team has definitely started to take a fair amount of those. Big Entomb. Big one. Sanctification. The kill against Vala. Sound barrier's out too, but Leo's about to fall. Gets the drain and actually survives. Leo survives and is finally taken out. Come on, you have to kill this guy. Yeah, Leo is down. But 34-36. This is going to be a Punisher for the blue team. Finally, they're winning one. Blue team has the Punisher, despite the counter kill against Leo. Here's the push now. The fort is, of course, gone. The question is simply how much deeper can they go with this. Catapults on the other side, 20 minutes in, will have an impact here. If they home in before the next minion wave spawns, that could be some serious damage. And yes, I guess the shields will fall. And hello, sir. Keep that Nexus mechanic in mind. Someone is trying to go for a little bit of a backdoor attempt over here. Okay, let's have keep our eyes on that. How deep is he gonna go in? Yes, there we go. So that's those rings every... Ooh, yep, a volley of those. Every 12 seconds. And the core is already falling a bit. Gul'dan is back, chases them out. Over here, the attack is going strong. 77% on the core. Yeah, the core mechanic could also slow this down on the other end, of course. That Protector, or that Punisher, still looking pretty active here. Kill against Lucio, nice. Protector still alive, starts to go for the core as the keep falls. They're still fighting out against Blade down here. And Blade on his Leo goes down as well. Core has no problem taking the Punisher down, so there's that. And at the same time, we have Kira attempting the flank. Makke with a nice juke, and off we go. That was a good one. This is a problem, though. This is a big problem. Yeah, Catapult is now also on the keep, and that's another keep loss. 90% against 77 on the core, and they're moving in the middle. Are they going to try and end here? They might even. Top keep should at least be eliminated. If they don't go for core, then at least go for the keep. Okay, there's already the trigger on the 12 seconds. Yeah, second volley is through, and now they have 12 seconds before the next one spawns. And they're trying to make it happen. They're trying to go for it. Leo is back, another 8. There's the Sanctification already. Yeah, 12 seconds are over. And again, the volley is in. Doesn't connect with anybody, though. Lauber is low, gets attacked. And there's the Horrify. They didn't take the keep, and they lost 2 heroes. 2 heroes down, keep not taken. At least the N2 misses. That would have been another kill if Blade lands this one with his Leoric. But it seems that Tobos is falling anyways. And all of a sudden, we might see the move towards the right side and them ending it. Big problem now. More catapults top side. Maybe this one is falling after all. Sammy is still there. So we still have Tyrannus Kira trying to maybe make a play. Top catapult, yes, has now targeted again the keep. Keep is gonna fall this time, but they're obviously gonna try and end right now. They're already moving cross map. Same time, we still have this one-on-one battle between Leo and Kira. Getting the ult in, trying to get the kill. Unsuccessful with that, and the top keep is still alive. Core is getting attacked over here, but again, there's the first volley. Okay, Kira is back, trying to buy them a little bit of time, starting to move in against Tyrael. 60%. It seems like this is gonna be it. This is the 3-0, ladies and gentlemen, as Team Makke takes down Team Lauber without dropping a single map in this in-house league match. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.